Hello, everybody. It is Larissa, and I am so excited to have you here. Welcome to my Lunch and Learn, where every week I explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And today I have a very, very special guest with us today, Michelle Gallant, and she is going to be talking about 3 style tips that you must follow. And these are like 3 things that are absolutely pivotal. She is someone that I've known for many, many years, and she will truly transform your life as she has mine. So just before I introduce you to her, I just wanted to remind you that on June 18th, Saturday, June 18th, we are hosting another vision casting workshop from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is absolutely free. It is potentially one of the last workshops that we're going to be doing like this. So if you have not attended our vision casting workshop, make sure to register. We will make sure to put a registration link in the chat, or what's even better is say, I want to register, send me a link, and we will make sure to get that to you after Michelle and I are done. So Michelle is a wonderful, wonderful woman. Michelle Gallant is a certified image consultant and a brand specialist, and she has more than 2 decades of experience working with clients, people like me, really truly present themselves as the best version of themselves from the inside out. She is the founder and CEO of 10 Inc., and it's an image consultancy based in Toronto. So she really looks at this whole idea of perception being impacting projection and productivity and profitability, as well as your life trajectory. So self-image is something that starts on the inside and is also expressed on the outside. And what's really cool about Michelle is that she's been featured on so many television outlets and in the media. And that's actually how I found her. When I first was introduced to Michelle, I Googled her a few years ago. I Googled her and I saw her do an interview on a television segment. And I was just wowed by her because she sounded like she knew what she was talking about. I'm like, it's not this woman's first rodeo. It sounds like she's been around a time or two. And I was looking for a change. I know myself personally, I was wearing yoga pants and bare feet during the day and super fancy gowns and dresses and party outfits at night. We did a lot of fundraisers, a lot of going out, and I had a big gap in the middle of my wardrobe where I didn't own a pair of leggings or a white t-shirt, and she pointed that out to me. So she really helped me embody this new persona that I wanted to step into and feel really, truly comfortable with myself, with my new business, and be proud of projecting myself, because you need it on the inside. However, when the outside matches what your inside is reflecting, it truly, truly is a blessing. So I would love to know where you guys are coming in from. Okay, if you're here live, pop in where you're coming in from live. If you are tuning in by replay, let us know you're here by replay so we can welcome you. And if it's your first time, type in first time in the chat. So Michelle, like I said, she is quite phenomenal, and she's had quite an extensive background. So Michelle, can you just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and give us a flavor of who you are and how you got started in this business? Because it sounds like fun, but there's always a story, and we want to know your story.
It is a very interesting story how I started in the business. I had 2 children back to back, and I was the mom in the park with the stroller in like dresses and high heels and, outfits. And I still felt that I had to keep doing that for myself because I just felt like me that way. And I got lots of comments at that time about how I put outfits together, how I always seem to just make that work. And it was at that time when I had already had all of the fashion background education, worked in stores, was a garment technician, did, merchandising, all of that stuff. And at that time I thought, I'd love to get into something more creative. And when they said, "Oh, you really should teach people how to do this," I kind of went ding, 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 ding. Yeah, that is what I want to do. So that is when I started the process of getting certified. And I started my company at the exact same time and just ran with it, because I sat in my first image consulting class, and it had to do with body types. And it was like a lightning bolt hit me, and I was like, this is what I was meant to do. This
Yeah.
is perfect for me.
So initially it started by you just wanting to feel good for yourself, other people plugging that seed, and maybe you seeing the need for moms to have their own identity.
Yeah.
What kinds of people do you typically work with? Like, who would need an image consultant? Why would people want to hire you? What kinds of people should be paying attention to this talk?
The kind of story I like to tell around this one is this. The repetitive theme I get when it comes to why I need an image consultant, it usually centers around men and women that are very much like leaders in their field. Their career was on a very accelerated path. They feel extremely confident there. But what ends up happening to some people is that even though they're at that high level, they're looking around in their environment and they see somebody else that, quote unquote, just seems to have it all going on when it comes to that head to toe presentation. And what they really notice is how people are relating to them differently. And they go, I want that.
Yeah.
And I haven't been paying attention to this whole image thing. And I'm seeing now with my very own eyes what kind of impact that is having for other people. And I want that. And they get in touch with me and say, make me that 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I want that.
Well, I certainly had that experience with you, right? Prior to you, I knew how to put myself together to a certain point, but there were some really simple nuances that you taught me. For example, like I know there's like this whole thing of body shapes, but you taught me about things particular to my body shape because I have a really long torso, and you gave me a few little tips that weren't in the regular magazines, right? And they worked for me. And then it just made things click together. And when I started following the guidelines you gave me, when I started wearing the clothes that you had selected for me, because Michelle and I have worked together several times. You're definitely part of, you're on my speed dial here. If I ever have a question, I text you right away and you're right there. But
even when you're out shopping.
Yeah, well, you know when I'm out shopping. Whenever I go to certain events and I am mindful of how you've suggested I put myself together. It's not crazy stuff, but people do come up to me and I notice that I am treated very differently. I get different types of attention, and it's a very unconscious thing. Like, people don't do this consciously. However, you gain credibility, you gain a presence, and you just feel really good going out. When you're put together, it's different than if you're wearing sweatpants and haven't showered that day. It just
For sure.
Right? So there are a few tips.
Yeah.
There's 3 tips that you wanted to share with viewers today, right? 3 crucial style tips that you absolutely must follow. And I think they're like the laws of style, especially according to you. And they're simple. And when you use them intelligently, they make a world of difference. So can you tell us what the 3 tips are? And then we'll dive a little bit into each one.
Okay, sure. So let's start off with the concept of a 360-degree approach to image consulting. It's a term I came up with because of exactly what you've been saying, Larissa. It is inside out from head to toe. It has to go that way to be completely copacetic and reach what kind of goals and projections that you want for yourself and for everyone else around you. There's always a story you can be telling. So 3 things that have to be thought about in when I start working with anyone. Number 1 is your color palette. And I'll just show you. And Larissa has one of these, a palette book.
Where did I put it?
Yeah.
Mine's right here. Mine's right here.
Spring,
Yeah.
that is not yours. Yeah, it's soft, you're muted.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So the important thing about having this accessibility when it comes to color is everything in your wardrobe will always tonally match. Everything goes with everything else. It's very, very easy to navigate online shopping, and it's very easy to have a look in here and look at the color pairing notes that I've given you and what to put with what on any given day at any given time. So you can use this as well for hair and makeup colors when you're changing hair color, anything to do with color, it's here. And something you might not have considered, I've heard this a lot, that you might not have considered what metal color you're wearing. And it's not just jewelry. It's eyeglass frames, it's exposed zippers, it's buttons on clothing. Your bag has hardware that could be metal. So knowing your optimal metal is extremely important. And that is step one that is crucial to always be following a palette with your wardrobe every day for the rest of your life. It'll make your life so easy. That's number one. Oh, do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when you really showed me my colors, we went around my house and you said, "This is your color palette. This is your color palette." I'm like, "I like that. I like that." And then you pointed at something else, and I'm like, "I've always hated that. I just didn't like that. It's just never felt right." And you're like, "It's not your color palette. If you get rid of it, you'll feel better." And I did. And so part of it's your clothing, but your color palette is really going to dictate how you respond to things and how well you feel and how comfortable you are in your environment. So that's also something that was a big game changer for me, because when you're comfortable with your environment, when you're comfortable with yourself, you want to be there, you want to show up.
So true. Yeah. Fun fact, you know, I do wardrobe reviews and go into people's closets all the time. So fun fact is that I would say 99% of the women's wardrobe reviews I've done, because women tend to decorate and do all the home decor, 99% do their entire home decor and paint their walls, furniture, accessories, all in their palette colors. Mm-hmm. But it's not in their wardrobe. It's fascinating because I guess it's your environment. You surround yourself with what feels really, really good to you. But because clothing and wardrobing is a little bit more convoluted and you might not be buying your palette colors, but you do in home decor. Anyway, that was step one. Step two is your body shape and proportions and dressing and your optimal silhouettes all the time. So the great takeaway from knowing your proportions and knowing what all of your optimal silhouettes are is that you will find there is such an ease to all of your wardrobe choices for shopping online, for even Google searching things, and you can specifically ask for certain silhouettes, and it is a great tool to simplify your life and to make things just that much easier. Because let's face it, if you know what you're shopping for, right? If you have no idea, it's hard. And let's face that very important fact, there's a lot of choices out there.
There's so many choices out there. They don't all look good on all of us.
No, and you know, you try to figure out your own body shape, and you might be looking online at some advice, and it's still not working, and you can't understand why that is. So I do body analysis all the time, and I have written. Do you want to show?
Yeah, I have a screen share I'm going to do. Let me.
Yeah. So I've written 4 ebooks that I use not just as a book to buy, but as a working tool for my clients, which then goes into what I call your personal style book. So I comment in there and I put a whole bunch of extra tips and tricks for you and things that are really going to work for you going forward season to season. So
find this in a different tab.
okay.
Okay, here we go. It's coming. It's coming. 2 minutes.
It's coming.
Larissa's the technical difficulty right now, but it'll come.
I can talk through it a little bit if.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to share it over here. Thank you
Okay.
guys for your patience. Share screen.
Do I get to see it too?
It's coming. It's coming. I promise.
Oh, okay.
Window. Here it is. Yay. I found it.
Okay.
Okay. It's not working. All right. We may not get it. I'm going to go to system preferences and then see what I can do.
Okay.
So,
but I'll start talking you through a little bit
I'll see if I can work it out.
About my body shape acronym. And excuse me, the acronym is, I think, a lot nicer and, you know, friendlier than some of the terms I've heard for body shapes, like the fruit ones. I'm an apple, I'm a pear. No. And, you know, just like standard hourglass and no. So I have an acronym that I use, and it's called HOVAX, HOVAX. So top of the letter, so let's think of the letter V. The top of the letter is representing your shoulder proportion. The middle part of the letter is representing your midsection or waist, and the bottom part of the letter is representing your hips. So why I think it's just important to talk about briefly is because when you're trying to figure out your body shape and proportionately what to do, the midsection is most often overlooked. So I have a few ways that I've come up with over the last 20 years to really simplify this, make it simple, and I've broken it down so the information is always there for you and you can always access it and use it like for the rest of your life. So it just makes life so simple and fast and easy to do wardrobing, to create wardrobe capsules, to do all of that stuff.
Okay, so Michelle, your book is much more elegant, but just so people have an idea, the H means your shoulders. There we go. Your shoulders, your waist, and your hips are square. And we'll do like maybe an X. So that would be.
Oh, X is a good one.
X is a good one because it's easy to see. But in your book, she has like a really cool book, guys. It looks more like this. So small waist, and bigger shoulders.
That's a very exaggerated hourglass figure, isn't it? So
this is my technical. This is how good I get. This is how I can draw.
The interesting thing that I noticed for X body shaped women is that sometimes the X is here. If you can wait, I'm going to make this straighter. Sometimes the X is here, not here. So length of waist and where the smallest part of your midsection is critical. I've broken down the X body shape into long and short waisted because the optimal silhouettes for each are different.
Well, if people do want to see the book, just because I'm gonna take the rap for this, you've got a printed one. You also have them available digitally on your website, correct?
Yes. I just wanted to point out that the first body shape book that I have is the real working guide, but these are supplements because you might be X body shape, but you're 5 feet tall. You might be an X body shape, but you're triple E in your bust. So there's supplementary education to go along with each.
Yeah, and it's never straightforward, right? It's always very custom because there is no one size fits all. There's some general guidelines, but you really do have to consider many factors. This is a science. This is not just like let's just pick a nice outfit together. So step one was color. Step two was body shape.
Yep.
and know what to wear for your body shape. Doesn't
Yep.
matter whether you're a size 2, a size 10, or a size 20. It's the shape that counts. And so you help people assess that if they don't know how to do that
Mhm.
themselves. And then the other thing, we are on tip 3. This is another really, really good one. And I think this will hit home for a lot of people, especially if they're in business for themselves, because this makes a difference.
Tip 3 has everything to do with personal branding. So that has to go hand in hand with clothing personality, style, and image. So when you think about what style means, style has everything to do with what you have going on internally. That is personal style. It's a judgment that you make on your own versus image, which is external, and that is what everyone else around you is doing when they look at you. They are assessing your image. So those two things I work on with you. I like to tell a little tidbit of a story about how the kind of image that you can achieve, you might not even know, because you have everyone has like preconceived ideas of themselves and what things they project out. However, I have an uncanny ability of being able to see parts of you with your personality and what you're doing
We are
and
on
take you
three.
to a
What is
different level of that not an uncomfortable one, not something that's scary or doesn't feel like you. You know, my tagline is be you. It has to be authentically you. And I take you there in a way that's going to completely empower you and be very transformative for you. So that is branding. Some people think, oh, personal branding, is that the hat guy? Is that the girl who always has a scarf? No, it's not. Last night, well, sorry, 2 nights ago, wasn't it, Larissa? We were discussing personal branding, and someone said on the chat, oh, I don't want to have a personal brand because I'm a chameleon. I like changing it up all the time. And I was like, oh, well, that's your brand. You are known for being very, very into, changing it up constantly. And people know you for that. That's a unique thing about you. So that is personal branding. It's only you, and it's different for every single person.
Yeah, and I love that it has to come from the inside to be projected for the outside. And that's one of the big things that we teach as well, is you can't just get the clothes. Like if someone were to hire you and not have an identity, not have an idea of what they wanted or where they were going to go, I mean, you could do the colors, you could do the body, and they might feel better, but it's not going to have the same significant impact. It's like when you have that vision, it just gives it so much juice. It just escalates it and gives you fireworks to the whole other level, because you do walk with confidence, you do talk with confidence, and everything elevates. You just start to rise to a whole other level, truly from the inside out. So I am a huge fan of what you do. I absolutely love working with you. We are working on another shopping trip, another series for this summer. So we've got some good selections and things that we're going to do. We'll give some people some sneak peeks along the way. I've shown a couple people and they're just like, oh, they were very impressed with what you've pulled together.
Okay, good.
So stay tuned on social media for some of those sneak peeks. And if you do want to access Michelle's guides, they're on our website. It will be in the show notes or in the description here. It's 10 Unlimited, so the number 10, but actually spelled out, unlimited.com. So you can go there, you can access her guides. And is there anything else you want to wrap in closing, just as we wind down, Michelle?
I do want to add about how feeling like that 10 out of 10 is something that is very accessible to everyone. And I'll tell a little story about how I go through a process of all of this and how you can achieve this. And that is, you got to go back and think of a day that you did feel like you had it all going on that day, for whatever reason it was, because there's always different answers for everyone. That day you had it all going on. Think about it, lock it in your mind. Then, what made that day so unique and special for you? Were you taking risks that day because you'd had that feeling? Did people really relate to you differently because you had that feeling? That is my goal to achieve for you on a much more consistent basis.
Yeah, I love it. So
Yeah.
3 crucial style tips are color. So really know your colors and work with them. Everything in your wardrobe will work, and you will feel like a rock star when you're in your wow colors. You'll learn what that is when you work with Michelle. Step number 2 is body shape. So dress for your body shape and not just your size. And step number 3 is the personal branding. Really allow the inner image that you are looking for to project on the outside. And like I said, Michelle's book is available at her website, 10unlimited.com. And if anyone is interested in working with you or even booking you for a consultation, they could do that on your website as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Just go to her website. That's
Yep.
where you can find her. Best resource hub. And we would love to, again, invite you to our vision casting workshop coming up on June 18th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., where you can take the dreams and desires you have and really flush them out, get more and more clarity so you can take them to reality. So often we have this vague idea of what we want. And if you have a vague idea of what you want, you can't actually create something. You can't put something magical together if you're going to maybe steer in the wrong direction. So we're going to help you gain crystal clarity on what it is that you do want in all aspects of your life. So it is absolutely free, 3 hours, because you're going to do the work there. It's not like show up, learn a thing, and then go do homework. You're actually going to sit down and walk away with your vision for the future. So we will make sure to drop the links in the chats and in the show notes, and we cannot wait to see you there. So thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.